What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. For this camera comparison I have the latest and greatest from Huawei, the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, and then I have the latest and greatest from Apple, the iPhone 11 Pro. So throughout this comparison I'm going to show you a bunch of daytime pictures. I've included some portrait mode pictures, I have pictures taken with the ultra wide lens, I have some zoom pictures, and of course after that we're going to see some pictures taken with the main lens. After those we're going to move on and see some nighttime pictures, and of course for the nighttime pictures I use the night mode on both devices. After those we are going to see some sample videos, and of course I have daytime sample videos and nighttime sample videos, and all the way at the end you're going to be able to see some selfies. As always, I'm just gonna give you my opinion throughout this video, but feel free to check out the pictures that are side by side and decide for yourself. And with that being said, let's start by checking out some portrait mode pictures. Alright, so looking at the portrait mode pictures that I took, well, first of all, the edge detection is very similar from both devices, so I can't really say that one is better than the other one for edge detection. But looking at those pictures and the subject, in this case my girlfriend, I definitely prefer most pictures taken by the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Mostly because the subject is a bit brighter and it looks a bit sharper. So, I don't know, for me personally, for portrait mode pictures, I do prefer the pictures taken by the Huawei P40 Pro. But look at these pictures and definitely leave a comment down below and let me know which one you prefer. Alright, we are moving on to zoom pictures. So keep in mind that to the Huawei P40 Pro Plus we get a 10 times optical zoom lens, where on the iPhone 11 Pro we only have 2 times optical zoom. So the max that you can zoom in with the iPhone 11 Pro is 10 times. So that's what I'm showing you on the screen now, 10 times zoom basically. So for 10 times zoom pictures there is really no comparison. Every single picture taken by the Huawei P40 Pro Plus looks much better, but that has a lot to do with the fact that we actually have 10 times optical zoom. Moving on to 5 times zoom, well here the Huawei P40 Pro Plus has to use a combination of optical and digital, where the iPhone 11 Pro, again, it's using optical and digital just before. So even for the 5 times zoom pictures, the Huawei P40 Pro Plus does seem to do better in every single picture. So once again, check out those pictures and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. We are moving on to pictures taken with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices. And the first thing you're going to notice is the fact that the iPhone 11 Pro has a wider field of view. So if you like that wider look, basically, you're probably going to prefer the pictures taken by the iPhone 11 Pro. Now for colors, the colors do seem fairly similar, but it does seem that the iPhone 11 Pro has the somewhat sharper pictures. So once again, it really depends if you want that wider field of view or not as wide of a field of view. Personally, I do prefer the less wider field of view because, in my opinion, if you have that wider of a field of view, the pictures do become a bit distorted. But everyone has different preferences, of course. So once again, check out these pictures that I took with the ultra-wide lenses and let me know what you think. As for the pictures taken with the main lens, well, here I can't really say if I like one or the other, because in some pictures I love the pictures taken by the iPhone 11 Pro, and in some pictures I love the pictures taken by the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. So, I don't know, I think it comes down to your personal preference, because realistically the contrast is kind of the same, the colors do look somewhat similar, the dynamic range is similar. So in some situations the pictures from the iPhone 11 Pro are better, in some situations the pictures from the Huawei P40 Pro Plus are better. So they're both doing really good with the main lens, but once again let me know in the comments down below which one you prefer for the pictures taken by the main lens. And as you've seen for yourself, they both do pretty good for daytime pictures. But how do they do for nighttime pictures using the night mode? Alright, so we are starting by checking out some pictures that I took with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices. The first thing I want to let you know is the fact that the iPhone 11 Pro doesn't have a night mode for the ultra-wide lens. So basically every single picture that you're going to take with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices is going to be better from the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, because that one does have a night mode for those pictures. And obviously the pictures are going to turn out better. But once again, look at these pictures and let me know what you think. Moving on to pictures taken by the main lenses on the back of these two devices, and once again for the main lens the iPhone 11 Pro has a night mode just like the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. And here once again it's gonna come down to your personal preference. Some of the pictures taken by the Huawei P40 Pro Plus are sharper, and then some are sharper from the iPhone 11 Pro. So I guess it really depends how bad my hands are shaking in those situations, how dark it was, and so on. So overall the main lens, they do seem to do fairly good, but everyone will have their different preference depending on how those pictures look, how people like pictures, and so on. So with the main lens, I would say that they're both doing quite well. But once again, take a look at these pictures and let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. Next, we are gonna move on and check out some sample recordings. And for sample recordings, I'm gonna show you some 4K at 30 frames per second recordings, but keep in mind that both devices could actually do 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, for recordings done with the ultra-wide lens, I somewhat believe that the iPhone 11 Pro does better. The colors are better, the videos do seem a bit sharper. So personally, I prefer the videos done by the iPhone 11 Pro with the ultra-wide lens, even though I was kind of expecting it to be the opposite. Moving on to the videos done with the main lens, well, the quality there is somewhat similar in between the two. As for image stabilization, I don't know, in some situations the iPhone 11 Pro does better, and in some situations the Huawei P40 Pro Plus does better. Now, moving on to nighttime recordings. Well, for nighttime recordings, if you are using the ultra-wide lens on the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, the videos do look much better. The recordings done by the iPhone 11 Pro look almost unusable. So I'm gonna let you guys watch those sample recordings, and once again, let me know in the comments down below what you think. This is our first video recording between the iPhone 11 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. So for this recording, I'm using the ultra-wide lenses on both devices, and I'm recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. So we are gonna walk this way. Of course, at this resolution, both devices have image stabilization as well. So yeah, this is how a recording would look like if you're using the ultra-wide lenses on these two devices. We're moving on to another quick recording between the iPhone 11 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. For this recording, as you can probably see for yourself, I am using the front-facing cameras, and I'm recording in 4K at 30 frames per second with both devices. So I'm gonna stop here in the shade for a bit. So there is a bit of wind and also some traffic to my left and to my right, and maybe some noise from that fountain that I see ahead. So yeah, this is how recording between these two devices would look like if you're recording with the front-facing cameras. We're moving on to another quick recording between the iPhone 11 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. So for this recording, I'm using the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices, and of course I'm recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. So I'm gonna pan right slowly and then back left, and we'll walk straight for a bit. So yeah, this whole recording in 4K 30 frames per second with the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices would look like. For our next recording, I am using the iPhone 11 Pro and once again the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, and I just want to show you the image stabilization and how it works while walking normally. I'm also going to run for a bit, so we'll stop right here and I'm going to do a bit of running just so you can see how the image stabilization would do. So yeah, this is the iPhone 11 Pro and the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. Alright, we have our first recording in low light between the iPhone 11 Pro and of course the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. For this recording I'm doing 4K at 30 frames per second, and I'm also using the ultra-wide lenses on the back of both devices. And looking on the screens here, I can definitely see way better on the screen of the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. But of course, I'm gonna have to see how this footage actually looks on the computer. So we'll walk here where it gets a bit darker. A few more steps. So I'm gonna stop somewhere around here. I'm gonna pan left slowly. So yeah, I can definitely see way better on the P40 Pro. So if you'd be to use the ultra-wide lenses on the back of these two devices, this is how recording between these two devices would look like in low light. And we are moving on to our second recording in low light, but for this recording I am using the main lenses on the back of the iPhone 11 Pro and of course the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. I'm gonna cross the street here, we'll walk that way for a bit. Of course, at this resolution, both devices have image stabilization as well. So we'll stop here for a second, we'll pan left slowly. I can see my car now, and I can also see that the image is brighter on the screen of the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. So this is how recording in low light to the main lens in 4K at 30 frames per second would look like. And lastly, we are gonna check out some selfies. And for selfies, I personally feel that most smartphones these days have to improve their selfies because none of them look perfect in my opinion. So looking at some daytime selfies between the P40 Pro Plus and the iPhone 11 Pro, well, they kind of look similar. I think some of those selfies I actually prefer from the iPhone 11 Pro. As for nighttime selfies, none of them does that great, but if I would have to choose one, maybe the Huawei P40 Pro Plus would do better. But definitely for selfies, none of these smartphones, no smartphone actually does that amazing. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Now you got to see the differences between the latest and greatest from Huawei. Now keep in mind that the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, it's using pre-release software, so this may actually change by the time the phone becomes available for sale. So always keep that in mind. If you did like this video, don't forget to press that like button. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer that. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.